Hello everyone, welcome back to this tutorial. So in the previous video we have learned how to create a singly linked list, and this is what we had achieved in the previous video, and we had also written the program in C. So we have created a singly linked list, but then there are many operations that we need to perform on a singly linked list, and that is what we need to do in this particular video. Last time I told you that this code that we have typed is not properly formatted, and when I'm using the word formatted means it is not actually coded in a professional way. So first we will do it in a proper way, that is we are going to break this particular function, this particular program into functions. So let us first do that, and this is the main function and this was the code. So let us do some proper give a proper structure to our code, that is using the functions. And first thing that we need to do over here is to give a proper menu for the user. So this was the while loop, and this while loop will continue till the point the choice will be equal to 1, and then inside this while loop we can provide the menu that first thing I'll just number one, and you can say adding or add element to the list. Now that's the first option for the user, and then I will give a slash n for the next line. So I will just copy this and paste it, this second, third, fourth and fifth. So number two option will be, now we will perform some operations, and that is adding element to the list. So we are adding the new element at the end of the list. We can also add the element at the beginning of the list, but second option we will give is, that is inserting element in a list. So if the user wants to insert an element in between the other elements, so that is what this option will do for the user. So that's the second option, and then the third option I will give is that is deleting the element from the list. So deleting the element, that's the third option. The fourth option that I will give is the searching option. So search the element. So these are the options that will be provided to the user, and we are supposed to do coding for each of them. Now the last option, let us have one more last option, and the last option will be exit. So simple. So if it's exit, then the program will terminate straight away. Then after this what we will do is we will have that is a switch case. A switch case will take the value, so we are supposed to accept the value from the user first. So I will say scanf and then %d, and okay, so %d, and I will accept that in choice, in the variable that was choice. So if choice, if it is equal to 5, then I will exit it. Okay, so we will come back to this, we'll work on this also. So then that's the switch case, and I will pass the variable that is choice over here, and the opening and closing brackets, the braces, and then we will have case 1. So case 1 will be, now we will write functions over here, that is add underscore element. Now this is the function which we need to define. We are giving straight away call over here, but we are going to define this function, and what we will do is we will simply add not add, we will simply pass the argument, that is uh, or else, okay, we will not pass anything, we will accept the number in the function itself. So let us just keep this as it is, and then the next statement that I require over here is the break, and then case 2. Case 2 is for inserting, so I will say insert element, and insert element, and then over here, okay, I will accept the value from the user itself in the function itself. So let us just keep this also as it is, or else what you can do, you can accept the value from the user, and that number can be provided to this particular function. So let us do it that way, because I think that is a much better way to do it. So I'll simply say print f, and if the user goes for option 1, I will accept a number, enter a element colon, and then I will accept that in the variable, that is /n, and then we can provide that, we can pass that argument into this particular function, and same we can do it for this insert element also. So over here there are two numbers, two inputs that we need to accept from the user, and that is, first will be, that is printf, and I say enter the index value. So that index value will be like the position, or the position value also you can type it. So the position value where the user wants to insert that particular number in the list, and then I can just accept this into a variable that will be position. So we need to declare this particular variable, that is position. So let us just declare that, and position. Now that's okay. So done. So we have done for two choices, that is case 1, case 2, and then I need to provide here the break, and let us have the semicolon. Then comes the case, that is case 3, and case 3 we have to delete the number. So deleting the element is what we need to do. So same thing I'm going to ask. Okay, over here I forgot one thing, that is we also need to accept the element value, right? So the first I will accept the position and then the number, and in that particular position this number will get inserted. And then the third option is deleting. So over here I just need to accept the position first, or we can accept that element number, and that element number from the list will get deleted. Even this can be done. So I'll keep it, because it is possible that in a list two elements can be same. So let us take position and do it position wise. So this is the position that I'm accepting, and then that particular position value, that particular index value from the list will be deleted. So then I need to have break, and before break I forgot to give a call to the function. So let us give a call to the function, that is del, and I will say del element. Now these are the functions that we need to define. I'm just giving a call over here, and then case, that is 4 will be, so what was the case 4? That is searching. So this will just search the element from the list. So over here we have to just search the element, so I will just accept that particular number, and then we will search, that is search element, and pass that value. So we will search that element and pass that value. Now these are the functions, that is search element, Then del element, insert element, we need to define these functions. So let us come outside the main functions and start defining this function. So first function was, that is case 1 and add element. So this is the name of the function, and I will just keep it void and give it this. Now void is to work before, because in the main function it does not work, so I'll just check whether it works over here. Otherwise we can just simply give this as int, and then if you do not want to return anything as such, just say return 0. That's it. And now over here we need to do the coding, so I will just type the code and keep it. And the next function that we require is the insert element. So let me just have that insert element int paste, and over here I'll just write this in return 0. That's it. So insert element also I defined, and then we will be writing the codes inside the function. This was the insert element, and then this is the del element. Now this is like all we are doing the live coding, so we might come across many errors, but then that is how you learn to code basically. Then this is return 0. So that's the third function. And then comes del element, then the search element. Okay, over here also we need to pass the value position. So over here this is the function, that is search element, and over here I need to have that position. Over here the value. Over here the insert element, we will pass two arguments. That is two arguments we are going to pass insert element, that is the position at which the element needs to be inserted, and the element itself, that is n. So there are two arguments, so I need to have two arguments out here too. And this, I just forgot to have this int over here. This will be int position comma int n. This is how to do it. And then over here it will be int n, and that's it. Okay, so del, then element, del element, and then the search element, that was the last function, search element. So let us have that, and then what we will do, we will just run the program and see if there are any errors or not. If there are no errors, then we will code one function at a time, and then again we will just check for the errors. And this is how to do the coding. You do not type the entire code and then try to run the program, then you will get a bunch of errors and then it becomes very complicated. So the best practice to do coding is just do a bit of coding for one particular part of the program and just run the program. If there are any errors, you can rectify the errors and then do the next part. That is how to keep the approach. So that's the search element. And if the user goes for the option that was case 5, so case 5, what we will do is, case 5 we need to just exit. So over here if I say case 5, so if it is not equal to 5, something of that sort, I can write not equal to 5. So if it is 5, then this loop will break. So I'm keeping we can do it in a different way also, but right now I'm keeping it just in a simple way just to make this code run. So over here if it is case 5, then if it is case 5, I will simply use break. That's it, nothing else. Okay, now let us just come back to where we were. I hope everything is fine. Now let us just try to run this code. Now over here, this code, we have to get rid of this code. We are going to shift this code, in fact not getting rid, if we are going to shift this code into this function, that is the create add element function. Okay, but right now what I'm trying to do is I will simply just run this code and see what the output is. If there are any errors, we will rectify. And there is one error over here, and the error is over here, that is no semicolon. Okay, I just forgot to give semicolons. And then let us just try to run this again, and it says over here semicolon. Then let us just run this semicolon. Okay, so it's just about the semicolons, I guess. Over here, let us just run this, and there is scanf, that is over here, that's the semicolon, and the semicolon over here also, it's the semicolon, and over here again the semicolon. Okay, and then there is okay, now the program is running, and this is the menu that got displayed in front of us. So this is how to display the menu. Now this is a absolutely error-free program, and so I'm ending this tutorial over here, this video, and in the next video we are going to do the coding for these functions. Okay, so see you in the next video. Bye for now.